thought she was.
All right. 3, 2. All right, guys. Welcome to the 5th episode of the 369 Society. Today, I'm here with
Brooke.
Man, it's your boy Finesse, man. What's going on?
Hey, I'm Ari.
Elijah.
Mr. Campaign Winning.
Yes, sir.
We're back bigger than ever.
Yes, sir.
2020.
We're back.
Absolutely.
Back.
It's 2020, man. Look, man, we just blessed to see another year. It's 2020 and a whole new
Amen.
decade, you know what I'm saying? But we appreciate y'all for coming, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely. It's been long overdue for a
Definitely.
female's perspective
Long
on the
overdue.
show.
Long
Okay. Okay.
I'm into this.
Okay.
It's going to get different.
Okay. All right. So, we'll just jump right into it, bro. Sonny Ski, bro, take it away, you know
All
what
right,
I'm saying?
man. So, one of the points we had in like the very first, I'm not talking. One of the points we had on our very first show was basically a conversation about marriage. Is it beneficial for the man or not? So I can't speak for all of us, but I came up with this statement that marriage isn't beneficial to men. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, first, why do you think it's not beneficial for men?
Because the wedding is just all about the woman. The woman gets everything from the marriage. You look at divorce rates, they get half of everything.
That's why he signed a prenup.
Prenup.
There
This
you
is
go.
That is true.
But my whole thing with it is, if you love someone and you want to take it to the next level, why bring the government in it?
That's what I think. I don't think no one benefits from marriage, to be honest,
You
bro.
don't think so?
Yeah, bro. Like, cause you can have like love like without it, my nigga. Like, come on now. I don't understand like why you need a paper to say like, oh, y'all love each other. Like, damn. Like, no, nigga.
So do you guys like? What about relationships? I feel like marriage is just a relationship, but it's just to like the next step. So I don't get why you guys don't think that both benefit from it.
Well, why do you feel like marriage is the next step?
For relationships,
Yeah.
because like you're saying that you won't cheat on someone.
So
You're
why are there
saying-
so many failed relationships? Marriages. I'm sorry. Marriages.
Why are there so many failed marriages?
Yes.
Because they weren't really compatible. Just because you feel like you love someone doesn't mean that they're actually meant for you.
This is true.
So why couldn't we realize this like before we got married?
Because
You know what I'm
sometimes love is blind, so you really can't notice
okay,
it.
prophetic. I like it. Okay.
But that's true though. It's blind, so you really don't know if you really are like, can really be with that person for the rest of your life until you're actually in that situation,
Right.
and that's for a lot of things.
So let's say, all you ladies, you're in a relationship with a man, but he won't marry you. What are you doing?
Let me think.
I mean, I feel like that depends on your own, I guess, personal desires.
Mhm.
Like, if you don't care to get married, then it won't matter. But if you do, then,
So what is your perspective?
I mean, I would hope to get married. So I mean, that would probably be an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be an issue for me also.
Mhm.
All right. How about for y'all? Like, can y'all see yourself actually getting married?
Nah.
No.
Why?
I don't know. I could see myself like if I really find the one, we just do our thing till the end, and we just know
Okay.
it. We just have that feeling.
Mhm.
But it's just the whole bringing the government involved with it. That's why I don't really get.
But have you thought about this? Most females do whatever they want if there ain't no rock on their finger, like,
This is
I'm
true.
going to do whatever I want since
She can
I
take
ain't
that
got
rock
no,
off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But-
I'm going to do what
This
I
is
want.
She can take that rock
This is
off.
Very
true.
true. So,
How many of you guys are like Christians?
me.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, I'm just gonna relate it to like.
Go
No.
crazy. Go crazy.
Okay, because
Yeah, go crazy.
Not preach. Preach.
Stop, because I'm not saying. Okay, I don't know how to really put it into words, but
Take your
basically,
time,
I'm just
Pastor.
trying to say like, in the Bible it says that like we should get married. You know, like you should be equally yoked with someone, and that doesn't only mean just like marriage, but like we should be on like the same page. You know, so I feel like if you guys are Christians, then you should want to get married. It's not really about us. It's really about we come together and then doing it for us of God. And that's basically how I feel about it.
So what do you think the right age is to get married? Like,
I don't think it's the right age, because I really can't put that on somebody else. Like
for
somebody may
you,
be
what you
ready.
think?
For me, I really don't know. I thought I was gonna get married young, but No,
There's no way you can get married young.
it is. I feel like getting married is very possible.
Yeah.
I don't think so
Like a
at
lot of people
all.
in my high school, like after we left, they got married. They
Yeah,
were only
it
like
is.
This is
19.
true.
Like,
That's
man,
young.
that is
I
true.
bet.
Like you
Yeah,
can't,
for
like
sure.
you're getting
Left
married,
and
but you
right,
can't buy
too.
alcohol, so that's young. You can't get a rental
What
by
is
yourself.
that?
You
Wait,
can't.
you can get married, but
You can't get your
alcohol.
own
Crazy.
hotel
That's-
room
that's-
by
that's
yourself
laws,
before
though.
21.
Still.
Regulation, though. So, if you know, in Michigan, we had a lot of 18-year-olds trying to buy alcohol and a lot of drunk driving happening. So it goes
Right.
based on statistics and laws. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
that's in place.
Mm.
So a lot of these laws that we have, especially in Michigan, are for reasons. So it's lower than before, but a lot of incidents happen and they change it.
Right.
Okay, so
But like, they can get drafted at 18, but I can't get my vodka at 20. Yeah, you know.
we're talking about marriage.
Anyway, but yeah. But no, she had already had an interesting point. So you said, you know, if you Christian, it says in the Bible what you believe in, right? You should get married. That's like the end goal of relationship. Am I right?
Yeah, because I feel like for me, sorry,
You good?
I am a Christian, so I feel like our relationship should be based on God. So I feel
Right.
like if we're based our
is
relationship
nice.
on God,
That is
then we should get married.
Right.
But why
No.
do you think it's okay to get married at a young age? Like, say for example, as you're getting a little bit older, you're more into Christianity. But like, how do you know like so much about like Christianity? Like, if you didn't start off young, or like as you get older, you're learning more things about yourself. How is it like possible for you to get married at a young age if you don't even know that much about yourself?
Well, I'm not married, so I can't really answer that question. But for people who are, probably because they thought that it was ready, you know, like people pray on things. Like God doesn't give you like, oh, you have to be married by this time. So if they feel led by like a higher being, then go for it. If they don't even feel be led by like a higher being, still go for it. If you feel like you really love this person, you can spend the rest of your life with them, then go for it. It's not really a time stamp on, oh, I need to be married by 30. I need to be married by 25. That's why a lot of them fail, because people put these time limits on it. Exactly. So you just blind like, oh my God, he's the one. You get married and it turns out he's not it. So that's a failed marriage in itself.
This is
The
true.
marriage itself is failed because you learn a lot of different things about yourself being in relationships. Because
you're
you
dealing
like you
with a
can
whole
talk
other
to someone,
person.
you can talk to someone for like, oh, we've been like talking for like years, and like I feel like this person is the right one. But as you get to know that person, oh, this person is not the right one for me. Like everything about that, like even if you knew them, like say if you knew someone
Right.
like at 18, as you get a little bit older, oh, I'm like 21 now. This is the person that's definitely the one. But as you get to know that person a little bit more, this person is not the one for me.
Right, and that should happen before marriage. I feel like you said
But
like
you always get to know more things of someone like as your relationship gets a little bit
So
deeper.
what things should happen like before marriage type of thing? Like, should y'all move in before or like after type of thing, or like should y'all?
I feel like personally after, like I don't think like you should
how about you?
marry like, well, I don't think you should move in like right at that time.
Okay.
But it's always like trial and error, 'cause like you never really know. Just like she was saying, you never
Right.
really know.
Yeah, I feel like those are like more permanent decisions. So I feel like I would only make those kind of moves after I'm in a marriage, like after I married someone. 'Cause I feel like, oh sorry.
No, you're good.
I mean, not to say like when you're in a marriage the relationship isn't temporary, because that's not true. It could be. But I feel like, I don't know, that's just something I would do after I got married.
Got married.
Mhm.
All right. So let's say you move in after you're married, right? And then you learn a lot about your significant other that you didn't know because you're living with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Leaves the underwear on the ground or doesn't shower, stuff you
That's-
just don't know about.
Mhm.
So wouldn't you want to, and I want to go back to your point because I feel like we got a little off track.
No, it's okay. I
Um,
was gonna mention it too, so you can go.
Yeah. So I believe in God, right? Grew up in the church, know about the Bible and all that. I'm more of a spiritual person, right? So my ideology is if I found the one, let's say I found my soul partner, right?
Yep.
Why not have a relationship between us and the Most High? But what's the point in signing documents, and doing all that? You know?
Yeah. I don't
not
get the
just have that
paperwork of
conversation?
marriage, because I feel like our marriage shouldn't be like, I don't know, like you know
Based
what I'm
on
saying, like
paperwork?
based on paperwork. You know, like like if you cheat, I can sue you, get half of your money, and all
Yeah.
this and that. And I don't agree with
Unless
prenups
you get that
because
prenup.
you shouldn't be expecting for your marriage to fall. That's why I don't agree with prenups. But it is like I don't get the papers either.
Right.
But if I want to get married, if that's something we have to do, then that's just something I'm willing to do.
Got you.
And about the moving in thing, I feel like when you get engaged, you should try moving in with them. because of the simple fact that like we're not married yet. You know, like we're
I feel like
fake
that's
too.
like the. I feel like before engagement, to be honest.
Really, I thought you
Yeah.
could spend the night, but like for us to actually like move in together, like
Yeah.
our engagement. You know, like you could be over my
'Cause
house.
engagement
Of course,
lasts for like, well,
depends.
like yeah, it really depends. But like let's say like a year or less, and I don't know. He could just be, or she could just be like acting for that year,
A whole year.
the whole year.
I feel like
Motherfuckers be
that's-
acting for for years.
I feel like that's really really trial and error. Cause like you know, like say for example, if you had a friend, like since you were younger, once you move in with them, you realize that it's not really a good friend to like move in. So if you're like best friends, like real tight, and then something happens.
Sometimes they learn about.
Yeah, you learn about them like maybe I shouldn't have moved in because it's ruining the whole friendship. Just like it can be the same thing like with marriage. If you're like you just trial and error, like you see, oh, I'm moving in with this person, but then you realize like, damn, that probably ruined the marriage and everything because I'm realizing I really don't like this person like that, like enough to move in with them.
That's why I feel like it should be before marriage. Marriage is a big deal. Like people don't see it as one, but that really is a big deal.
I feel like I have to get married, cause like
And that's another thing.
Why do you
Like-
feel that?
Your parents.
you man.
It's more of like an obligation now
Yo.
instead of like a want, and
real?
that's
I
a
feel that,
big
actually.
problem.
Cause then they're gonna be like, when you your girls? through?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it's crazy how like when you grow up, no girls or no men, like no, you know what I'm saying. And then
Like,
once you
in
hit
my
like
house.
right, none of that, no. Once you hit a certain age, like let's say 25, oh, where your wife at? Like
Right.
Whoa, calm down.
that's just real crazy though. How like they put that pressures on you and
Hmm?
it's all that.
Were you saying something?
Oh, no, I'm listening.
Oh,
Yeah, so like for me, like I forget what I said in the previous episode. Can you hear me? So I'm not too sure what I said in the previous episode, but you know, I did a lot of listening to understand, a lot of observing, right? And my perspective has changed. So I believe my initial thought was men didn't benefit from marriage, and that's reasonably solely because I didn't really grow up seeing black marriages, right? And so I just assumed that marriage wasn't our thing. But then as I started meeting different people and kind of seeing how their marriage works, and then asking them, how does your marriage work? And you'd be amazed by how simply they break it down.
yeah.
Like one married couple been married for 50 plus years, right? So I had to ask them, like, what makes your marriage successful? They said, well, it comes down to communication. I'm like, communication? Like, what do you mean? They said, well, before you get married, you gotta let each other know how you feeling. What makes you upset? Why, when you do this, I feel this way. A lot of people don't communicate. So a lot of people just like, well, I don't know why she acting like that, so I'm gonna just go over here. Or I don't know why he just did that, so I'm gonna go over here. Nobody wanted to sit down and talk. And I think it's a lot to deal with our generation too. We don't communicate. We're terrible communicators.
There's
Well,
a lot
I
of,
bet
lot of
it's a
egos
difference.
sometimes.
We'll hold a grudge for the longest, and then until somebody snap, and then everybody want to just communicate, but then it's not communicating, it's arguing.
Exactly.
Because
Right.
communication come with what the 80-20 rule: 80% listening, 20% talking. So you can listen to understand, not to respond, right? Then it says something like recreation, right? So doing stuff together. And they said laughter, right? So like for example, you know, I'll even use a friendship for example, right? Man, Jameson, this is gonna be a good example, right? Jameson bullied me in middle school,
No, I didn't.
right? But we can
No, I
we
didn't.
can laugh
No, I
about that
didn't.
stuff. You
No,
know
I
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we talked about it. It's all good. We laughing about it, right?
Right.
So in relationships, right? You going to have ups and downs. You will have ups and downs, right? But you able to sit down, communicate about it, and then laugh about it later, right? And it says something about, you know, having, like you said, understanding the Most High, having the Most High in your relationship, right? And I think one other thing, if I remember correctly, was I know I said it before. Can you help me out? Recreation, communication, laughter, and then Most High. I believe there was one more.
There was, but I don't
I can't remember what
realization.
No, that was for something.
it was. That was something else.
Yeah. I forgot.
Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot this one. you have to understand that you don't need that other person.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
want them,
Mm.
right? You want them part of life, but
That's
you don't
deep.
need them part of your life.
That's deep.
And so, actually, I thought about that too, because a lot of people you see on social media feel
Right.
as though if they
Self love,
need,
self love.
feel as though
Ooh.
they need
Shout it.
somebody in their life. They need a relationship.
Right.
When they don't. You need yourself. Like
Right.
she's saying, self love, right? And so I was reading the Bible because what I do is before I speak on something, I gotta figure out for myself. And so when it comes to like marriage documents, I haven't actually looked into it. Have you guys?
No.
I just kind of go off ear. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making
Mhm.
judgments based off ear.
Right.
And I learned that's kind of like ignorance. Ignorant mean ignoring information. And so I just what I want to do is sit down and read the documents. What does it actually say, right? And get understanding for myself. Same with the Bible. So I grew up in the church. I was present, but I wasn't actually like involved with the Most High. So I started reading the Bible for myself,
Mm.
and then it's actually I forget what chapter it was, but you know how people say love thy neighbor and it stops right there.
Yeah.
They just stop right there. So you see it all over, love thy neighbor. I'm like, that's interesting. So I started reading it and stuff, and it says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Mm.
Let's see.
You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of like my basic perspective on it.
So do you feel like? Well, so do y'all feel like social media like takes a toll on relationships?
Absolutely.
Which hinders-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Most
So like, why
definitely.
though? Like, what exactly do you see?
False expectation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because social media, really
Man.
false expectation
False
is
expe-
social media type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was
with,
it.
with everything, you know what I'm saying? With the relationships especially, you know what I'm saying? You see everybody buying their significant other, you know, this and that. Like, oh, they got
Right.
matching this, and like, oh,
Yeah.
snap, she did what for him? Like,
Man.
you know what I'm saying? But like, a lot of times you don't see what's behind like closed doors. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they having this big old, you know, portrayed beautiful relationship, but you know, behind closed doors, they could be just not fit for each other at all. Like, could be toxic as fuck, but no one knows that because they see what's
What's on
portrayed.
social media?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because people put like the positives and they don't post like the negatives.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the
That's
positive.
all social media.
This
man.
little beautiful
Mhm.
like all they
Mhm.
post is like the beautiful times, but not necessarily the bad times. And everybody
Right.
just thinking ahead. Oh my gosh, I want to get married. Oh my gosh, I want a relationship. Blah blah blah. But they never focus on what's best. Like when people think of relationships, all they do is try to focus on. They know what to do when it comes to being positive, but they never know what to do when it comes to being negative. What do I do here when this happens? How do I communicate with this person? Because all they are focusing on the positives. Like for example, buying flowers. Like people buy flowers to try to get over whatever happened in their relationship.
So
I
to,
noticed.
to revert back to like the initial topic, what do you guys think? How can a man benefit from marriage?
I mean, the same as a woman. I feel like when you become married, you guys are both agreeing to be with each other.
So I
So-
guess the question could be then, so we can start off.
Wait,
What
I
are
can,
the
I can
ni-
help you on that.
What are the initial benefits of being married? Do you think?
I feel like a lot of like I can play like both sides. I feel like a lot of females are always focused on like, you know, themselves and like, you know, whatever happens to the relationship. But they never focus on how the guy feels. Like, oh, I'm gonna ask him how his day is going. They're always worried about me and never worried about like, you know, their significant other. Like I noticed that a lot about females. Even though I am a female myself, but I just noticed that. Like just asking like the guy how his day is going or what did he do? Let's say, for example, how was work? It can go a long way. Like you can, cause some dudes I notice they can be like depressed, and you would never know it, cause all you doing is talking about yourself, and
And that's
necessarily
low key something like
focus on like how the guy is feeling.
that's low key something we talked about like in our previous episode when like it wasn't about marriage actually, but it was about like when a guy's in love. When a guy's in love, he's always like stressed and like, you know, just more like just heavy hearted, like, oh, like how do I please her? How do I do this for her? You know what I'm saying? Like a man is just always, I don't know.
Oh, and then like the female will feel like, oh, he probably doesn't like me because he seems so stressed out and blah blah blah. But really, he just trying to figure out how to make the female happy. is what I would say.
Or I think you'd even turn the girl off with him just trying
Yeah.
so hard, doing everything. Like you look at the dudes getting the flowers, all the gifts, doing all this stuff, being all lovey-dovey, and then what happens?
They probably would just walk
They
all
leave.
over it. They won't.
They
pay
get
much
walked all
attention to it.
over. They got no respect for themselves. Like when a dude is in love, he's just stressed all the time. Like he said, like just not happy. His whole life is centered around. Well, I shouldn't say in love,
Right.
but deep in love. I'll say that.
Let me think. Because that's a great point. Like, you know, like you can't argue with the truth, right? But I feel like it kind of falls back on y'all also, like on the guys also. Because if you keep getting burned by the same fire, then why do you keep going back to it? In a sense, like you shouldn't stress yourself out that much of a person. Because like I said earlier, you don't need that person.
Absolutely.
You just want that person. And sometimes what you want isn't always what's best for you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, don't let people walk all over you. You know,
Do you think?
even if you really like them, because females do that a lot too. A woman do that a lot also, but y'all do it more because like it's always like the guy's like job to go after the female. Oh, you supposed to? I'm not. You know, like girls be like, oh, I'm not going up to him. That he supposed to come to me. You know, like it's that thing. Y'all always supposed to initiate everything. So that might be like where y'all feel like it's more on y'all, where like y'all stress a lot about it. You know, you get what you say. What did you say about being deep in love?
Oh, like yeah, like you're just more stressed, like you know. What I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
more
you're
stress.
like,
So
yeah.
I feel like it also falls back on y'all too.
Okay.
That's real shit. That's real
Man,
shit.
man,
You
man.
can't argue with
No,
that.
I'm just
I
saying, like,
I mean, me as a female, I be stressed out when I like somebody too. Me as a female, I be stressed out when I like
Word.
somebody
Yeah, I
too.
noticed.
I feel like you shouldn't be stressed though.
Is that because like maybe some relationships would be like you know.
I
one
want to
is-
show. I
one
want to
is
show
more
I'm
than the
interested.
others type thing. You know what I'm saying?
I want to show I'm
What did you
interested. I
say?
want to show that I care. You know, I don't want to always like just fall back on the guy. Like I want to let him know that I care too.
Okay.
I don't want to be too like standoffish or too like nonchalant, because you know I can be a very nonchalant female. You know, if you showing me you don't care, okay, well looks like I don't care either.
Heard you.
So
Reciprocating the energy. I feel
yeah,
it.
always. That's just my personality.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that communication gonna come in very clutch though.
Yes.
Once you communicate where you stand though, and what you expect from relationships, and so reverting back to marriage too, once you communicate what the benefits you want or seek in a marriage, then you guys can work on that and build off that. But I don't think people really establish what the expectations are, or maybe in communicating, you know, I don't know, let's say you do this, you know, I don't like that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
go,
like
you go
for
based
example,
off.
I don't like gifts. I don't like receiving gifts, honestly. Like, if you give me a gift, I'll like appreciate it. Except for Jameson's gift, that shit was off the chain. But most times though, people give me gifts. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'd rather give you a gift, and then
Right.
I don't expect anything back.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But if I didn't communicate to my partner, they keep giving me gifts, and they wondering why. Then he don't even be excited.
He even
when
smile.
He
Yeah.
he ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
But if I communicated that in the
Okay.
beginning, like, yeah, you know what? Like, do you like gifts? Oh yeah, I like gifts. How about you? I'm not really a, gift type person. I'll give you something. I don't really expect anything in return.
Right.
You see where I'm coming from?
I
Yeah.
feel like communication and understanding go hand in hand.
Mhm.
Because when you communicate effectively with each other, then you start to understand each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's
That's
a
good.
big that's a big
That's
thing
good.
because
Understanding. You can talk all day.
That's what I'm saying.
You can talk all day for
and
sure. To
understanding
be
should go
honest.
hand in hand.
But
I feel like
understanding.
also it's like communication is good, but also go by for like the actions and vibes. Cause like say for example, if somebody can simply say I love you, but are they showing that shit? You know?
Yeah. So
Oh,
that
I
question
love
then,
you, but like, are they really showing that shit?
No.
before
Like,
you say I
words
love
don't
you
always
though,
mean-
I recommend, so like for somebody says I love you, right? Before you say it back, ask them, like, do you feel loved?
And like,
Right.
what do you love about me? Maybe.
Not even that.
Not,
Like,
do
nah.
you
Do you
feel
feel love? So like, some people getting feelings like, well, he didn't say he loved me. You know what I'm saying? Before I say
Shit,
I
don't
love
give a
you,
fuck.
I want to know that. Do you feel loved by me? Because then,
Yeah.
if you don't feel loved by me, there's no point in me saying it.
Mm.
If my actions don't show that I love you, me saying it ain't
Yeah,
gonna do
I'm
no
saying.
good.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then I ask yourself too, when somebody tell you they love you, do I feel loved by them truly?
I feel that. You have something to say about that?
No, because I feel like you said that in a recent episode, and I think I disagreed because I felt like, oh, well, you should say you love the person back. But that does make sense, though, because why would you say something in response to somebody saying that when you feel like either you're not showing them love or they're not showing them love? So, yeah, action is definitely important, especially when you're going to say something that impactful.
Yeah.
Well, can you like specify what you mean by like, do you feel loved? Because like, I feel like personally, like, no. Well, like for example, like depending on what age you like decide to get married, like you never know what that person is going through. Like they can go through like someone like like when you say like being loved, feeling loved, they can be going through like stuff in their family. Like say for example, if like someone died in their family, or if this happened, they're not doing good in school, whatever the case may be. You never know like what's going on in their mind, because like sometimes like say for example if you're like in a relationship and stuff, you can probably drift away from your family, don't even know you're drifting away. So like you never know what that person is going through. Like they may say, oh yeah, I love you, but like when they say, well, I don't feel like you love me, they may just be going through something at that moment. You just never know.
Right. So thinking about that, right, is my mentor always told me that it don't matter what age you are, like you were saying, you're always learning, you're always growing, right? But the thing about that is you want to deal with somebody or be with somebody who wants to grow and who wants to continue to learn. If they're not open to learning and growing, then they're going to be closed-minded. They're going to shut off all the experiences, all the information that you could gain. And so, yeah, being in a relationship, you're going to be open to new experiences. There's no way you can be fully prepared, because life is going to always, it's going to be always something new.
Yeah, and truly, I mean, I don't like females, but I notice a lot of females, just by being females' friends, they can be very closed-minded. Like, they're always thinking just about themselves. Like, what about the guy? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of, like, good friendships and stuff and good, like, experiences with, like, guys, because, like, they can be very open-minded and thinking about their side and her side,
Yeah. But it's going to come back to communication, though. So if you feel like that person is not listening to you, you got to tell them, like, look, when I talk to you, I feel like you're not listening to me, right? And then if their reaction is, well, rah, 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 hey.
Cut them off.
Hey, that's not for you.
Cut them off.
I wouldn't say you got to cut them off.
You just gotta
turn them papers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you ain't gotta cut them off, but you just now you make a mental note, like they're not open to actually caring about you and learning about you and how you helping you develop, right? It's really about them, what they going through, and kind of like
So is this like in marriage or in relationship?
both.
Okay,
You
in
can apply
relationships,
these
cut them
principles.
off.
But
No.
Oh, you talking about? Okay, my fault.
If you're not willing to listen to me and my problems, and it's always about you, I'm not gonna want to spend the rest of my life with you. So why would I continue this relationship?
But then there's some females that want to like actually like grow on that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And like help him through that process.
But if he's not willing to do it, then
he was saying that she wasn't willing to do
Okay.
it. That's what he said. He said that she wasn't willing to do it.
if a person
that
is
should
not
be something
willing
you have to think about.
if a person not
relationship.
willing to like at least try it and grow and get through it, then you don't want to be with that person
so
because it's going to be a lot of difficulties in the future, right?
Very.
Man, toxic.
And that's where depression come into play for guys. I feel like not being listened to. It's always about the girls. I feel like that too. I'm not gonna. So I feel like I understand what y'all was saying about marriage. How like guys, you feel like the guys are benefiting from marriage, but I feel like that should all be like set like out before you get married. And I have a question because me and my friends at school always argue about this.
What's up?
So if you're, it's like stupid, but like we really argue about this.
Right,
So if you're married, right? Let's say you've been married for like 10 years, right? And your like significant other cheats on you. Are you staying or are you leaving?
Leaving.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can
Are you staying or leaving?
I'm not for this day, honestly.
I mean, but some people, you know, stay because
That's
maybe
some
it
people.
depends.
That's
No,
not me
personally,
though.
like-
Can I talk?
Personally,
Yeah, I mean,
Can I
like,
talk?
personally.
My bad. Go ahead. We here.
I
Oh,
mean,
no.
I mean, some people like if they like compatibility is, you know, very strong, and if they can get through certain things, some people will actually stay. Like if they know this person is probably very willing to change, because like some people, I feel like people cheat because they not listened to, like how you were saying, how the guy can be depressed if like they're not being like listened to. I feel like some people just cheat because of that. Oh, you're not showing me any love. You're not doing this, so I'm gonna go and do this, just for like a wake up call. Okay, well, if you start listening to me more, and if you start understanding all the things that I'm like, you know, going through, then maybe I won't cheat on you. I feel like some people do that just
That's
to get
one
the
reason.
person like
I
reason.
disagree.
a wake up call.
Then I feel like that's because
So
of
so
lack
so
of
what do you agree
communication.
to? So what do you
No,
agree
I'm
to?
gonna let her go first because she was talking first. I'll answer your question. Calm down, thanks.
I feel like if you're willing to cheat on someone because you feel like they're not showing you the love that you need, then that's because you're not communicating that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think that's just that on that, for real. Because if you're just willing to go out and act first before even speaking to your partner about it, then you're missing that in your relationship. So then that's obviously something that needs to be worked on.
Like you could have like
Yeah,
talked
I
about the
agree.
person, like probably gave the person hints, talked to the person about it several times, and they just not listen. Okay, so then you're just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna go cheat and do this.
Then I feel like if their significant other is then closed-minded, then instead of cheating, I think they should just think about ending the relationship.
Or
You said, like why stay type of thing.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
I disagree with that because of what she said. Like, if you don't feel like you're getting what you're putting out, then you should say something. You know, like some people really probably don't see that they're acting this way. Like, we've been married for this long. I don't see that I'm not treating you how I used to treat you. So
True.
say something. I don't get how you think you're gonna find you're cheating because you don't feel love, but you go and just have sex with somebody. That's not love. So
I mean,
because
if you think about
feel
it,
like you're lacking
cheating ain't
love.
always sex, is what people think. Cheating is you can cheat
Yeah.
in several
Yeah,
different
but I'm
ways.
not gonna leave
It ain't
somebody
always
for what
just
they
sex.
think about because I don't know what you're thinking about. So when I say cheating, I mean you're actually going out and cheating.
Okay. So I got a question.
Also, like everybody got like different expectations. Like you can't expect someone to give you the same thing in return. But normally, when you get married, you should probably expect the same thing in return. But
Exactly.
you know,
Right. Nah, definitely. I got a question. Can you still be in love and cheat?
I was gonna say.
And
I
this-
was really going. That question was really in my head.
And this
yes,
goes
I'm in
for-
love and I be cheating.
This
I'm
goes
just
for
kidding.
both genders.
Both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah, you know, girl.
So,
just-
so how do the ladies feel first?
wow.
No,
Can you cheat and still
I just
be
feel
in
like
love?
no.
Wait,
Let her go. You got
I'm
it.
sorry.
No, go.
I just feel like, I mean, obviously we have like our Jay-Z and Beyonce situation where they worked it out. I think that's what everyone refers to when they think of that. Okay.
Shout out Carter, man.
He got money though.
He ugly though.
He got money though.
I just think that, like, when you're truly committed and dedicated to someone, which I feel like is a representation of love,
Mm.
you can't cheat on them. Period. Like, I just
Cool.
feel like you don't have a desire to go out and long after someone else when you have tunnel vision for this person. And so, I just feel like if you're gonna say that you love them and then you cheat on them, your actions do not match your words.
I heard you can still love that person, but you were not in love with that person, type of thing. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
interesting.
That
very true.
Mhm.
wow. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because you could say you love your mom. You're not gonna say you're in love with your mom.
Right. So that's true.
Just like you can be in love, like you can say you in love with yourself, but you really ain't in love with yourself because you be doing bad things to yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I agree with Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say no. You can't be in love and cheat. I just don't see how it can be like that. Because if you love somebody, you will really try to do everything in your power not to hurt them. Especially if you're in love with somebody. Like, I'm in love with you. You're in love with me. We're here. If you're going to, like, cheat on me, or if I go and cheat on you, then I can't be in love with you. People are like, oh, but it was a mistake. Like, okay, falling and tripping is a mistake. having sex, a whole 30-minute little activity, that's not a mistake.
And
so
other things that go
you
along
thought
with
about
sex.
it. You had to take all your clothes off. They had to take theirs off.
Right.
Hey, that's like a whole thinking process. So I don't think that you can be in love with somebody and cheat on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can.
I agree with that though, but I think we mentioned that in one of our episodes. Like, can you still be in love and cheat
We did.
and everything? And I'm gonna still revert back to what I said too. It's really a character flaw too. So when you cheat, you lack self-discipline, right? And then I'm gonna also revert back to the Bible because I'm trying to read more and more every day. And I believe it was it was Matthew's actually. And Matthew give you the basic principles, right? And so when I was reading it, it was like, if you really committed to your partner, right, then especially as a man, you wouldn't desire other women, right, and you try to avoid the temptations. Temptation's gonna be there. The devil's gonna try to tempt you and get you to do things. But then I was reading it, and the devil was trying to find a way to tempt Jesus. He was just trying and trying, and Jesus was like, "You're not gonna tempt me. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna." Just kept fighting and fighting because he knew who he was. It's a character, you know what I'm saying? So I started thinking to myself, like, if we all had character development, right, and then thought to ourselves, I'm not going to cheat 'cause that's not who I am, right? I'm not going to embarrass my partner like that, then we could be successful in a relationship and in marriage. But a lot of people lack that character, that self-discipline, you know what I'm saying?
I have a question to that, though. So, I don't know if this is a stupid question. But, like,
Probably is.
do you think that, like what your flaws are, like, that describes what your character is? Because I feel like you grow. So, I don't know if, like, your
Wait,
flaws is, like,
what?
you know what I'm saying? Like, your flaws,
Oh,
like,
no,
does
I know
that,
what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Are you saying because he used the term like character flaw?
yeah, like,
Okay.
characters and flaws. Like, do you think that, like, what your flaws are, or, like, your shortness, like, what you come short of, really is, like, really describes your character, like, of who you are?
Half of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it does.
I mean,
Definitely.
because it still is you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's not all of you, I feel like.
Right, so,
Yeah.
Based on like what flaws like do you mean?
but, so when you say flaws, you mean just, like, mistakes, like, the mistakes that you do, et cetera, et cetera?
Flaws, mistakes, a little bit different.
When I say flaws, especially character flaws, right, I would say things that you're lacking,
Okay.
right? You're lacking. And, I guess you can argue you don't know what you don't know. But at the same time, though, we all have basic understandings. So when it comes to, like, relationships, cheating is a big
Is it
no-no.
bad? Right.
Flaws
We-
in like trust, like what do you mean?
Character,
Trust,
principles, these,
um,
morality,
Core values.
stuff like that.
core values, okay.
Those would be your flaws. You lack in stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, self-discipline would be a character flaw. You don't if you either have it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And so, thinking about stuff like that, where we know we have a basic understanding that cheating is bad, and you still cheat, and you say, "Oh, I shouldn't have did that. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I still want to work it out." Nah, that ain't the move, in my opinion. I feel like you need to build yourself up so you won't make the same mistake twice, because it was a mistake. Mistakes to me, you got two different kinds. There's a mistake and a whole stake. A mistake is when you, like I said, don't know what you don't know. It happened. You learn from it, right? A whole stake is when you know what the fuck you did in the past and continue to do it. You see
So
what I'm
like,
saying?
things can be forgiven but never forgotten is what you mean basically. Okay.
Okay. So with that being said, do you think you can cheat and still be in love?
I feel like a lot of people, it always depends on like some people's like baggage, like I guess you can say like flaws. Like a lot of people been through a lot of stuff and like they have like very bad like trust issues. So like for example, they can be a very loyal person, but like if they feel like the other person is probably doing them wrong just based off of their baggage, they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this just to have myself safe because I feel like this person is doing this to me, so I'm gonna do this. But really, do they know this person's probably being very loyal to them? But since they have such bad trust issues, they're like, oh well, I don't feel like they doing me right, so I'm gonna do this just in case. so they can throw in like the person's face like, well, okay, so I noticed you were cheating on me, so look, guess what? I was cheating on your ass too. Just like to keep themselves safe.
Well,
Like
to
what
answer your
they're going
question,
through.
bro, I think for yourself, you got to define what love is and what you expect from love, right? A lot of people have different definitions of love, right? I mean, the basic definition is an action. It's a verb. Love is a verb, right? But you got to define what love is for yourself. And so Elijah brought up a good point that I think people didn't really catch, which actually ties into, can you be in love and still cheat? She said that you can love yourself, say you and love yourself, but still do bad shit to yourself, right? You can say I love yourself, but still smoke a cigarette. That ain't good for you. You can say I love myself and this and that, but you ain't making the healthy food choices, right? Or maybe you say I love myself, but you still put yourself around toxic people.
Right.
Or also, like, you know, for example, like, I have epilepsy. I know a few people that, like, oh, they know that they have epilepsy too, but, like, so, for example, you're not supposed to really drink, but they doing it anyways. They're like, oh, damn, I had a seizure, but, like, you know, damn well you're not supposed to drink, so do you really love yourself? You can't put yourself
Like
in
you
that
did that to
situation.
yourself type of
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that to yourself. Like, can you really... That's not good to do that.
So then you gotta understand too that a lot of people use the word love as like words of affirmation. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful with that.
That is true.
But you were saying about like you could say you love yourself, but you know you still do this and you still do that. I feel like love isn't perfect, right? But I feel like cheating really doesn't fall within that. You know,
Well, you
like
just
it's
said
just
love isn't
certain stuff, right? And love doesn't like cheat doesn't have to be enough for love to not be perfect. We can still get into arguments. If I can still love you, but it's not about cheating. Maybe our communication is off, or maybe I said something that you didn't like, or maybe I disrespected you.
All right. So look,
Love isn't perfect.
I got a
Love
scenario.
isn't perfect.
I got a scenario. Let's say you've had a man for like 15 years, right? Treated you like a queen. He did everything he could. He was a good man. Let's say you guys had kids too, took care of the kids, but then one time, right?
Y'all liking y'all. What?
And he
what
cheats,
age
right?
is you? What age?
38, right?
You 38
Uh-huh.
years
So he's
old?
he's
Okay.
38, right? And he's like an accomplished dude, right? And you're doing your thing too, right? He ends up slipping up maybe once or twice, right?
Ooh,
But
twice.
other than that, other than that, he's providing, he's doing all this stuff, taking care of the kids, treating you good. What
And
are you
he,
doing?
And he brought it up to you that he cheated. It's not
No,
like you
don't
found
add
out.
to it.
It's not like you
Well,
found out.
That's
he
a whole
brought it up to you.
That's
No,
a whole
David.
nother question. Because what if, right? Would you rather the dude hide it or tell you? Because if the dude hides it, what if he doesn't want to see you hurt? What if he tell you? What if he wants to communicate? So which is
I think
that's
telling
a
you...
two-part
I
question.
think telling you is way better because I feel like personally, once you hide it, things can be going real good, just peaches and roses and shit. Then as soon as like the person is like, you find that shit out, you thinking like, oh, this nigga try to take me out on a date, and then look what happens. I feel like personally, when you tell someone first, it can like help things be a little bit better than like them just finding it out on them on their own.
So what was the two-part question, Jameson? The first one was.
So the first one
will I
was you're
leave?
with a dude for 18 years.
Right.
With a dude for 18 years, take care of the kid, treats you good, does everything, but he cheats. Like one or
So
twice.
where I take him back, and then the second
What do
part.
you stay with him?
Okay, and then the second part was, does he
Um,
need to tell me or do I need to find out?
Yeah, does it matter if he tells you if you find out?
Whew. Okay, so once I really don't know because like I feel like I would really be hurt by it. You know, like, I'd be hurt in my relation, like my small relationships, like these relationships, like we be together for like some months, and if he
Right.
does something like cheat on me or hurt me, like that's gonna hurt bad. But especially if I'm married and we've been together this long and we have kids, I just feel like that's something that I'm not going to ever forget. And I'm a bad person. Like, I hold grudges.
Okay.
So every time, like,
You gotta let
we
that
get
shit
to
go. That's
right,
toxic.
but that's not something.
That's toxic. You talking
Cheated.
about
Like,
toxic? You talking about toxic shit? That's very toxic.
I'm
You gotta
toxic
let
for
that shit
hurting.
go.
No, he's toxic for cheating. You can't blame somebody on how they retaliate.
You gotta
for
let
being
grudges
hurt.
go though. You
So
gotta
you
let that shit
can't.
go.
I don't feel like that's toxic for me being hurt. You know, like it's not a time limit.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I
not
mean
a
more
time
like
limit on
grudges.
my pain. That's my, like that's my thing to get over. You did something to me, so you can't call me toxic for what you did to me. That makes no sense. So I don't think it's toxic, and
No,
that's
just
why I
grudges
feel
is
like
what I was saying, not necessarily.
yeah,
like,
that's why I feel like I would. I think I would have to leave because I'm not
should.
going to really forget that, and that means I'm not gonna forgive you.
It's
I don't believe in
It's gonna be a toll
forgiving.
on you type of thing. You know?
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be a toll on
You
you.
have to
shit.
Yeah, but like, you can
Forgive.
forgive, but don't forget, and that's I don't.
So
Because I'm not gonna forgive you. Every time I think about
You
it,
say
I'm
you
gonna
don't
get
forgive?
mad. So that means that I haven't really forgave you about it.
So
Forgiving
you're saying
means
you don't forgive at all?
barely.
Well, you gotta think
Like-
about this. You look, you gotta think about this. Look, you gotta think about this. You say you're Christian. They
Right.
tell you all the time to forgive stuff. So if you
They tell us a whole
believe in
lot.
that, if you believe in that,
Christians
then
though
you should
are,
already know, right?
Right, but who is
Christ-like,
perfect?
you know what I'm saying? Right, we try to
Nobody
be
ever said
like
nobody was
Christ.
perfect.
Right.
Like,
We
you're saying
can't.
that's like
We
the
not
number
are.
one
We not
thing.
is Christ. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's the number one
Christians
thing.
are
That's all I'm
Christ-like.
saying.
Yeah.
And so we really ain't perfect type of thing. But going off what you was saying, like, I mean, if it's toxic for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you gotta deal because you're gonna be holding on to that grudge and
Exactly.
it's not gonna go away anytime soon. For real.
And y'all say I didn't need them. I want them, and if I don't feel like you want me, then why do I need to want you?
Yeah.
How do you feel, Brooke?
She said,
Okay, son.
I mean, it's hard because there's like a lot of different factors. I mean, y'all been together for a long time. There's kids. But I mean, at the end of the day, a person has to prioritize themselves. And I mean, if I were in that situation and I felt like moving past it wouldn't really, I don't know, I wouldn't really gain anything from that situation. And it's not really like a relationship is all about what you get from it necessarily. But I feel like if what's gonna happen is that my like mental health is like really affected by it or different things like that, then I feel like that's what I would have to choose to prioritize versus just being with someone just because of a principle of, I don't know, forgiving them and then like moving on. And that's not bad because I think it's okay to put trust in someone. It's okay to build from negative situations. But for me, I feel like one as detrimental as that, I feel like I would kind of have to
Let that man go, sis.
Yeah, period.
Let that man go. Okay, how about y'all? Like, if the same thing, just flipped.
Alright.
Like, the girl, she cheats on you. Y'all
Well,
been
I
together for
guess I'm half
so
nigga and half
years.
female.
Blah, blah. So it.
So the scenario was if we're married for 18 plus years, right? And then
Yeah, I didn't say man. I just said together.
all together.
Uh-huh.
So you could take that how you want it.
Oh.
You said
you
so-
said, I know. I thought you
Oh, you
said years.
See how they thought?
He
they
said,
thought
I've
marriage-
been played.
That's what I thought too. I thought that's what you said earlier.
He did.
So what was the time then?
He said 18.
It's
18,
18.
Like, you
years,
about like
got some
38.
He said,
kids.
yeah,
right?
38.
What about 38?
So right
So, like,
now-
from right now.
Man.
Oh,
Ah.
Oh.
wait, married, got kids though and shit. That's weird, bro.
That's not really weird.
Shit,
I like people do that, man.
Right. Shout out to you.
Weird for me. Nah, you know what? But honestly though, I'm gonna touch on a few things. So I actually agree with Brooke. You know what I'm saying? So, Jameson said something really key though too. He said, but he's been a good man, right? And so, defining a good man, that dude was a good man by providing for you and the kids, and he also was a good man by telling you what he did, right? But the thing is though, was he a real man? Nah, 'cause a real man wouldn't commit adultery, right? Or
think
cheating on his
so.
partner. A real man, a good man would. A good man, he's a good dude, cool dude. He's a nice guy, doing his thing. He's a good father. Boom, boom. But a real man though, a real man who has an understanding of the Most High and follows the words, uses wisdom, which is wisdom means implying actually acting on what you do. He wouldn't do it, right? And so, but if my woman, who at that time would be my wife, and she cheats on me, I would actually relate to what Brooke's saying too about the man, because I couldn't fake it. You know, people would say, "Well, just do it for the kids. We got act."
Exactly.
But what they say? How what does it say? That saying goes, "What's done in the dark come in the light."
Yeah.
So eventually, it's gonna come up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then kids can read you too. Your kids can read when some off. Their energy is off. And you try to fake it. You try to.
It's not gonna be the
I have
It
a
same.
ain't gonna be
question,
the
so-
same.
So how do you feel about, like, you know, like how people try to like be together just for the kids? How do you feel about that?
I seen that happen a lot actually. And when the kids grew up, you know what I'm saying, the parents they want to separate then it's
Waste
like,
of
well, the
time.
truth just came out then.
Right.
Because
It's a
all of a
waste of
sudden
time.
separating. Why? I thought it was good during my childhood.
And now the kids are like holding grudges on like
Yeah,
which
Yeah,
one,
very-
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now it's like it's
Mm.
real,
You-
all
like,
this
you
messy.
some
caused
people-
this.
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
people
Right?
try.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's
And that
just
just ruined the
that you
relationship.
might as well,
Like-
you know, close that off. You could probably set up a good parenting relationship, co-parenting
Yeah, like some people
relationship. You know what
try
I'm
so
saying?
hard
But
to stay.
it's probably better to separate than try to fake it. This bond that
Mhm.
it ain't gonna be there. I know for me, once you cheat on me, you know what I'm saying, that's your loss anyway. But once you cheat on me, I can't be with you because you're not worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
some
like-
people are.
Sorry.
They really do try to stay like together just for like their kids, but that ain't always like good because like if someone ain't for you, then shit, they just not for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So,
That's
Um,
true.
Plus, I feel like what are you willing to like show your kids? Like, because I feel like a lot of times parents are our first representation of what love is, what relationships look like, what marriage is.
mm-hmm.
And so, what are you trying to show your kids? Because it's not like kids or children or young adults aren't able to pick up on those dynamics. So eventually, they're going to either find out about it or see it themselves, and then that's what you're showing them. And I feel like that has more negatives than it does positives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say this though. I think going back off what Jameson was saying earlier in the beginning about the divorce rate and how there's a lot of failed marriages, right? That's true. There's a lot of failed marriages, especially for millennials. That's not including us. We're Generation Z. And so my professor said something very key in my humanities class. She said that my generation, which is her, would have been Generation X. They were like, we failed you. Like, we failed you. We led by a bad example. And she said, I'm sorry. And so I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, dang, I didn't even think about that, how they led by a bad example. And we're kind of like doing what they do. But then I think now it's time for us to step up and then actually be the change we want to see. And so it's going to take us to sit down and take initiative to communicate. My parents didn't do it. Well, hey, take ownership.
I don't want that for me, type of thing.
Right.
So I gotta do that for me.
Right.
We can
Straight
be
up.
that change. We can change things. Because our parents fucked up, don't mean we got to fuck up too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
First step is realization.
Realization. So when we do that, I think we can actually improve. And so a lot of us, like, talk about divorce rate, that ain't us.
Right.
too
I
young.
was just about to.
I mean,
yeah.
we got some people getting married, but as far as I've seen, they haven't gotten divorced. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's really our parents who are the ones who are fucking up. So we should be the ones to stand up and say, you know what, I won't be like them, and I
Yeah.
won't let their issues, their fuck ups define who I am.
And it really sucks because not a lot of people have that realization. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not a lot of people be like, oh, like, I don't want that. Some, like, because if their parents have that relationship, most likely, kind of, like, you know, they're going to be in that type of relationship too, type of thing. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Man, that's just kind of crazy, though, for real.
Yeah.
I feel like a big thing is that we tend to like dwell on like the negativity a lot. Like we say, like the divorce rates is high, this is high. But like when we talk about like successful marriages rates or like just getting married in general, I feel like if we really look into the positives of marriage or like see people who have positive marriages, then that would change our our perspectives of marriage. But if we just talk about the negatives, like, oh, they cheated, they did this and that, then that's what we're gonna dwell on. Exactly. So I feel like if we start talking about the negatives and like the positives and like relationships and marriages, that our perspectives would change, and I feel like that's when our shift in like actually having more successful marriages
Okay.
would come into play.
It's going to take them conversations with people who have successful marriages. I mean, how
And
many
them
of
coming
us
out.
actually
Man.
sit down with them and ask them,
Exactly.
you know, how did it
That's
work?
Secret.
Right.
You know, like, how did it work? And you saw from my example, they broke it down in a few, four main
And it
principles.
changed your whole
I'm like,
perspective of it,
dang.
right? Like,
You know what I'm saying? Let me try on that. You know, it makes so much sense, but like you say, you see so much negative. you get clouded. You know, think
But
about
it instills
success,
the spirit in you.
right? And it's gonna also take us to sit down and look at the information, the marriage documents, what actually entails in marriage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we
Really
know the
dissect
basics,
it,
like
right.
the government is involved, but we all know the government is involved in everything you do as long as you're a citizen.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Social
saying?
security.
So we gotta really look into
Bro,
everything.
That stuff
No,
is
that's
crazy,
real.
bro. We
real.
numbers straight up.
Man,
That's a whole other topic.
saying
It's
though.
a whole
No, I
other
mean,
topic,
like-
bro.
So I want to go back to like near the beginning with this, right? Because you just said we gotta focus on the positives.
Mhm.
So going back to marriage and relationships, what are positives in marriage that you don't get from a relationship? That you feel like?
Wow. Great question. Let me think.
Would you feel like it's more sacred?
Yeah.
You know,
That's why I
marriage?
feel like that. Like this person was really like,
Like it's more
I'm
serious.
really to spend the rest of my life with you. You know, because you really don't get that from a relationship. Like at any given time in a relationship, we're just done. We'll have to sign no papers. We'll have to go to
That is
court.
low-key
You have
true
to get
type of
divorced.
thing,
Don't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just done. But in this marriage, we like kind of like we really like connected to each other. We shared our lives together. Like now we're one. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the difference from a relationship and a marriage. That like it's sacred. Like Onesimus said, like that's a good word. It's sacred.
So, again, can't you have a sacred relationship with God or the Most High involved when just a normal relationship? What's the real difference between being in a marriage and a long-term relationship?
But like, I feel like you have to have some type of turning point in that relationship type of thing. Because a relationship is a relationship, you know what I'm saying? But like, it just stays like that. And so when you're in a relationship, if you want to be like, if you really just want to stay in a relationship type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool, you do you. But I feel like y'all have to have that conversation where like, all right, it's just us type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? Like, we serious? Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to like have like some kind of turning point in that relationship. Because that's what a marriage does, for real, for real. Like a marriage, like, oh, okay, like we together, like, okay, that's cool. Glad to know, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Honestly, like, why wouldn't you want to get married? Just because of like the paperwork? Or, like,
It's not even just the paperwork. It's
Because
just
marriage ain't for everybody. That's why.
right. She
Right,
kind of
but
said it.
is
Like I just
relationships for
personally don't
everybody?
see
No,
the point.
neither one of them are.
Okay.
I
What you saying?
personally just don't see the point. Right. The only way I get married is if I had a girl for like forever. I'm like, all right, that's a gift, right? Because the marriage is to me is all about the bride.
City, yes.
I don't agree. Like, y'all both are getting married.
Nah. But just look how marriage go. Who walks down the aisle? Who's everyone looking at? It's the bride. So it's all about celebrating the woman.
Okay,
But
so
that's
change
You
it.
Right.
No,
Like,
check.
that's...
You get on your
So
knees.
then I'm gonna have a
This is
wedding
not
where
for
I
me.
come to that motherfucker,
Now,
and y'all gonna look at me. No.
now check.
Both
Because
come
you get
down.
on your, right? Like how you get on your knees when you pray, right? Maybe it's not a sign of weakness or however you want to take it. You get on your knee to marry, right?
Mhm.
The woman is standing up. So you look at everything, it's all about the woman, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? But it's just personally,
Shit, my bad.
what benefit do we get, you know? Because a relationship is one. So if it's just completely like, I'm spending all this money, I'm doing all this, you know, if she's with me for that long, I'll do it, throw it that little bone. But I just don't really see the point.
I know if I'm getting married, I'm gonna make it like somewhat about the guy too, and not
Should
make
be about
it just
both.
yeah,
Right.
make it
That's what I'm
about
saying.
both.
We both
I'm not
plan.
always gonna just make it about like just me.
Did y'all both
I want it to be
plan,
about both.
Yeah, get married, yeah.
No, I'm saying though, because a lot of times in the wedding planning, it's a lot of the
But
like.
you see in movies, it's like the guy be like, "Oh, I don't want to help."
Yeah. See,
So I
It's
really-
not even at
I
all.
don't want to.
So I don't
We'll
know.
get you a new
Exactly.
man.
So would you want to help?
That's
Would you want to help
Shit.
wedding planning?
That's true.
Would you want to help?
We'll get
No.
you a new man.
So,
all right then.
so how do y'all want us
That's
to
your
make it more
answer.
about you, but you don't want to put in the effort
But-
to even have this
But
wedding?
here's
We'll
the
get
thing.
you
Here's
a
the
new
thing.
nigga.
I
I
feel
know
like
I'm
we
getting
can
a
have
nigga.
that without all that. We can go on like a little honeymoon. We could, all right, we're gonna do this. Let's just do it,
Okay.
and then boom, do whatever, and then we can still get rings and stuff. We can still, oh, that's my lady, that's my man, that's my husband, whatever you want to call it. I just don't see the point in the big marriage, and then
So your
signing the
issue is with
papers.
the ceremony, not actually the marriage itself.
I mean,
Right.
it's
It
really
sounds
just
like
Would
you
you
what
just
just
go to the
entails-
courthouse?
It sounds like you're opposing the ceremony, not
Sign
the
it.
actual marriage
Sign
itself.
it.
You
Sign
say
it.
still doing rings, you still have a spiritual connection. That's what marriage is.
a spiritual
having a-
connection.
Exactly.
It's just
so
all
you're against
about.
the ceremony and the tradition.
It's really.
So you're
it's
not
not
against
even.
marriage, you're
It's
against the
not just
tradition and the ceremony. And the
ceremony.
rituals.
Because even the ceremony, there's some beauty in it. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, weddings are boring or that. Everyone have fun at weddings. It's just
Yeah.
like there needs to just be like
A change type of thing?
a celebration between both people. Like,
So
yeah,
you'll still
this
get
is it.
married,
We're
but
the
you just
one.
want to do it traditionally.
Yeah, and no papers. Like, well,
Okay. So
like
you wanna do it
let's say this,
traditionally,
right?
then.
Let's say this, right? You guys have the conversation. You know, let's really do this, blah blah, right? You could look at it as like a prom. When you ask someone to prom, hey, let's go to prom, right? And prom's a big thing, right? Hey, let's do this for real. I don't know what you would call it. Let's just call it marriage, like a better term. Hey, let's get married, blah blah. So you have that little fun. You have everyone come through to see it as like a function or like a party, just a
Mm.
good time. But just forget all the like, just
So
you
if
know.
you, so if you think about it like this, you know, I ain't throwing shots or anything. But if you think about like the black community, like I know it's a lot like the black community. If they like, oh, I've been with this person for so long. Okay, this is my wife. You know, this is my husband. Most like people in the black community, they don't get like, you know, like what you're saying, like the papers, getting like, you know, the big wedding and all that stuff. They just like, oh, this is my lady, so we married.
Right.
And they have like, you know, kids. Oh, this is your stepfather, this is your stepmom, stuff like that. So it's like you guys and so they have like the big marriage, like how you were talking about. You guys been together so long, so that's the marriage. Is basically what you're talking about, like, you know, have
Yeah.
like a little party or whatever it
Yeah.
is. 'Cause that's how a lot of the black community is. Like if you notice, like people other communities, they like do like the whole papers and do the whole big ball wedding and all that stuff. But it's just not always the same when it comes to black love.
Yeah. Yeah, marriage though, in a nutshell, basically a commitment, a bondage, like you said, when you become one under the Most High. And so it sounds like you actually are for marriage, just not the traditional way,
The
in
Western.
the Western way.
Yeah, I'm for coming as one. All right.
So we
let's
should look
do it.
into,
No papers.
what you should do is
This is a
investigate
conversation.
what's the
Just
process
anything.
of getting married in different countries.
I
You know
I
what
was
I'm
just
saying?
still gonna see the point.
So he wants. Would you
You
buy
still
a
get
ring
married though. You just say you get a ring, you still have a
Like
spiritual
that. That's
connection.
like
for her?
I wouldn't get on my like, hey,
On
like
her-
just
on
some
his
like
own
that, hey,
terms,
as
right.
like a gift. I'm not saying I'm gonna get her a ring. All right, we're doing this.
But what
but
I'm
just
saying
like
is
in
though,
the middle
you're
of the
still
relationship.
married.
okay,
You just wouldn't do it traditionally.
no.
Your problem with the tradition, because all your arguments are stating that you're against the ceremony. You're saying it's all about her, but you're
doesn't
not
like the
actually
papers.
against the marriage or the papers too.
Yeah.
But it's not actually against the marriage itself.
I just explained all that though.
It's not against the marriage itself. The true definition of marriage, according to the Bible, you're really against the tradition in the United States of how we get married. The papers, the ceremony, the get on your knee, it's all traditions, all ceremonies, all rituals. You cross that out, you'll still get married. You just wouldn't do it traditional way.
So that's what I'm saying. So what is I still don't see the difference. So if you could be in a relationship, what I'm saying is we can have that ideology. All right, this is it.
But do
So
you
I
know what
wouldn't say
marriage
a
means
marriage.
though?
Yeah,
What does
What's
it mean?
marriage?
a marriage is when you guys bond together under the law. Bride, husband, ceremony, it's wedding.
He don't fuck
Now,
with the law.
what was the marriage definition in the Bible?
It depends. Alright, if I say it depends on what the definition of
Well,
marriage.
see, I don't know it in the Bible. So what is it in the Bible?
So the basic understanding of marriage is, like you said earlier, it's when you become one, a commitment under the Most High. But in the United States, like you said, the law gets
That's
involved.
the definition you.
And
All right,
that's-
all right. If that's the definition,
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
just being like, all right,
And
let's
that's what
do
your
it.
arguments are,
That's
are
what I was
stating.
saying.
That's
low-key
that's why I
too.
was confused. I
That's
thought
what I was
No,
saying
your
low-key too,
arguments are
bro.
for marriage, just not in the United States traditional way,
Mm-hmm.
which brings in the law, where it brings in the ceremonies and the rituals you're against.
right.
But you still have a spiritual connection and a
The
bondage
bond.
with
Yeah.
your partner
Mm-hmm.
under the Most High.
That's what I was
That's what I'm
saying,
saying,
too. You was
bro.
like, when you were
Alright.
saying like the relationship type of thing, that's like a turning point. Like I guess like marriage really, really can be, you know,
Yeah.
like whatever type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's that turning point.
And that's
It's
why I was
not for the
recommending
weak.
that you
It's
investigate.
not for the weak.
That's why you investigate the traditions and rituals in different countries, because you might find out that, hey, I like the way they do this. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
In the Western way, the United States, that's not for you.
That's what's
Obviously.
clever.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
This is
Oh.
true.
You
It's a good
Okay.
point.
go, Jameson.
But
Go,
I feel like
Jameson.
I feel like personally, if you say you married, then shit, you married.
Boom.
Simple as that.
I like that.
It's not that simple, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, that's
Please not. Let's not do this.
Got the
I feel like it
commitment.
should,
You
I feel
got
like
the
it should be that
commitment.
simple. Like, all right.
Simple as that.
I feel it, man.
We're married.
I do.
I'm gonna do that.
Look at that. Yeah, no.
Everybody should be able to do it their own way.
Right.
I feel like.
That's true. No one's obligated to get married a certain way. No one's obligated to get married. So
Yeah, but I will say this though. I know it's getting late, but we also, as young men, gotta understand what a woman is. What is she here for, and how she assists you, and how do you assist her? I think a lot of young men don't really understand what the woman was created for, and what the man was created for. So, like you see in society, like social media, you see women getting portrayed terribly, right? And a lot of it comes from women themselves putting themselves in that spotlight, you know, becoming like, what do you call it, dancers, right? Or maybe IG models, right?
Okay.
Strippers.
Or stuff like that,
Ass and
you know what I'm
titties.
saying? And then, but then you also understand, like, you know, Nesmith doing psychology, let's say child psychology, how just your environment can turn you into something that you weren't
you're a
destined to be.
product of your environment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But once you have an understanding of what the woman is and what you expect from a woman to bring to you, to the table, then you can find out what it is that you expect from a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You following me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same for women. I feel like that we
Yeah.
need to understand like our place
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
And I feel like we always put ourselves on like this, on like kind of like a pedestal,
Yeah.
like we're above who we're
Girl, I was
with.
watching this video about this
Sorry,
dude,
guys.
Dr. Miles Monroe, who's a minister, and he passed away. Rest in peace. But he was saying that we have to understand that yes, the man is over the woman, but the woman is in front of the man. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to find out how we can help each other out. How can we balance each other?
And that's what it's about.
And
Balance.
so we were saying earlier how a lot of dudes, they go in love, they go above and beyond, and the women just, they fall out. There's no balance. No, it's like literally somebody is getting all this
Just pushing.
Yeah.
blessings from this person,
Yeah.
and they're not receiving anything in return.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that has to be communicated though, right? Not only with the partner, with yourself. What do you want?
Yeah, like we're just saying, like the balance. I feel like
And
sometimes,
want, not need, want.
What do you want?
like when it comes to the balance, that can like scare a lot of people away too. Oh, you're doing too much.
And
You
they
know?
ain't ready.
Yeah,
Balance.
they ain't ready. Yeah.
And lack of understanding.
Y'all are funny. Yes, no.
But no, because I agree with that. Balance and understanding
It's so
is like
important.
the key
Oh, yeah.
things to relationships. Like
Uh-huh.
we make it harder than kind of what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really
I
because
think
of
it's
all the
all
things that we
stupid,
think
but-
about. Like
Right.
we think negative when we're going in relationships. Like, oh my God,
Yeesh.
what if he cheats on me?
Yes.
Oh my
that's
God,
bad
what if he
to
fall
hear,
in
bro.
love with me?
Then
Oh my
they're
God, what if he
insecure.
do this? No, that's not insecure. That's just being afraid. And I don't think being
Yeah.
afraid is insecurity. So
Sometimes it can be insecure.
yeah, sometimes it is an
Sometimes,
insecurity,
sometimes.
but sometimes you just go in there because you hear so much things about
Right.
relationships.
Mhm.
You see your friends like, oh my
Right.
God.
You just afraid.
You see
type of
this
thing,
person
yeah.
cheating on this person, so you're going in with this negative thought on it. But
Right.
what if we go in with the positive thought? I feel like our relationships would be better. Like I said earlier.
Optimistic.
You gotta
Yes, like
outweigh-
being an optimistic
A
view, like,
growth-
oh my God, like
man,
what
a
if I can
growth
like actually fall in
mindset.
love with him?
A growth
Like what if he
mindset.
loves me for who I am? You know,
Yeah.
if I go in there with
Right.
that, then I'm actually looking for something positive, and I'm looking for something that will make me happy in the end.
And that energy can like feed off of him too. for real.
Exactly.
That's that energy. That's the vibes. I like it.
That's the vibe. Yeah.
I know, I'm always myself, you know. If you
I
ain't
kinda
fucking
compare
with
it
it, get
to,
lost,
like,
my nigga.
Your passions, right? So,
Oh yeah, most def.
man, like,
Opposites
for-
do not attract.
let's get.
whatsoever. My bad.
Oh no, I was listening, bro.
I was just saying opposites do not attract whatsoever, bro.
Man.
For real.
Some
That's
do.
that phrase is like
It's dead. It's dead.
no, bro.
I think.
Why do
look,
you think that?
I think in a sense.
Right.
Why do you think
This-
they don't?
no, bro.
I
This
feel like
is-
sometimes when you like someone that's like too similar to you, you can't get mad at certain things they do because you would do the same shit, you know? You see what I'm saying?
I
Like when it
agree
comes to
with you.
someone being like really
I agree
like
with you.
the same.
I'm saying no, like opposites, like
Opposites.
like you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying no, like I can't love a Chinese woman. Like that's not the opposites I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the
Right, mindset.
personalities, mindsets,
Right,
personalities.
okay,
Like
we're
you know what I'm
here.
saying. Like if y'all not on the same like vibe, like y'all
Oh,
don't like
yeah.
the same stuff. Like that's
That is
dead.
kinda
Like
OD.
y'all ain't. What y'all
Yeah.
gonna talk about? What?
That's
Yeah.
true. You're
It
attracted
is.
to people who remind you kind of
It-
yourself,
that's
or like
right.
someone you
Yeah,
know.
bro.
You know,
Yep.
and you like, oh my
No.
god, you like the same
Yeah.
thing. I like.
And I feel that.
Here.
But I feel like where the opposites do attract is when it's like an introvert and an extrovert, right?
Right.
If you got two introverts in a relationship, it's
Awkward.
just constantly like you guys might get along, but when you guys will probably just stay in the house all day and not do shit, right? If it's two extroverts, you might just be too talk. You just get tired of each other, you know,
Right.
whatever that comes with it. So
Nah, even I have to disagree with that one too, bro.
I feel like really.
I agree with
Yeah.
that one though. I agree.
Because if you have an introvert and an extrovert, that's when they really can go. Like for real. Like let's say you an extrovert and you have all
Oh, I
these
know
other
what you
people
mean.
like coming over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But your introvert like wife or husband is like just chilling like. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't do this.
No,
I'm
I
an
get that.
introvert.
I'm an
oh
introvert.
shit, we tweaking.
I'm an
But
introvert.
no, like you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of it's not gonna work at all. Oh,
Yeah.
here you go.
I can
We
see
good.
both perspectives in that sense. Because overall, I don't think I agree with the phrase opposites attract. But if you're talking
Me neither
about
at this point.
like introvert, extrovert, kind of like what they want from other people, like in their just overall environment. So whether that's they don't want to be around a lot of people or they do, yeah, I feel like I could agree with both. Because I could see where if you are with, or if an introvert's with an extrovert, where maybe both of them are maybe making each other grow in a sense, and they're making them more aware of like different perspectives. But then I could also see where that could just get annoying
Most
because
definitely. Because
you know.
Oh yeah, I agree. Oh,
Mhm.
oh I agree. I agree. Wait, who's gonna go first?
okay, I was saying though because like the phrases introverts and extroverts aren't really like how outgoing you are, but it's like where you get your energy from, type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like yeah, I'll say I'm outgoing and stuff like that, but I'm an introvert. I'm an introverted extrovert because like I need my time by myself.
To yourself. Yeah.
I I can't be out here all the time. Like you know what,
I'm
gotta go
extrovert,
home, see y'all niggas type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Like on that introvert, like extrovert thing. I feel like that's where like opposites can attract. Cause like how she was saying, like you will want to grow within like a relationship if you're just too like in your shell, and you live with someone that's like out of their shell. You can get like, oh well, damn, I'm not really even doing nothing. This person is nothing like me, you know. So like sometimes it's good to like someone that's a little bit different.
Right.
Not exactly
absolutely.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
Right.
you guys
Keep it
would
spicy.
probably
Annoying.
you guys would probably
Mhm.
argue about certain things like if you were too similar.
Okay, so do you feel like marriage lost its value?
Hmm.
I was just thinking,
Mm.
but like
Wow.
I had to bring it back to marriage. But like,
No,
do
that's
you
a good
think that
question for
marriage
real.
has lost its value?
Yeah.
And then in a sense, do you think love has lost its value also?
Yeah.
I don't think love can lose its value.
No.
Whoa.
It lost
Everybody got
value.
I
their own
think like
definition
real
of
love can't lose
No.
its value
Jameson
though.
said
I
yeah.
feel like it's been overplayed. Like the love. I mean the word love. You know what I'm saying? love. The word
Sign
love
it
has
up.
been like you know what I'm saying like just real.
No.
Used everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I love you, but I really don't. I just think I know. I think I love you, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But what was the question?
Also, everybody got their own definition.
I
of
said,
love,
do you
so.
think love lost? Well, first I said, do you think
Oh, yeah.
marriage lost its value? Then
Marriage,
in
that
a
was the
sense,
thing,
do you
yeah.
think love lost its value?
Yeah.
I think marriage lost its value, because, but I don't really think that's because of like a religious aspect. I think that's more of a societal aspect.
Real shit. That's real.
Yeah, lives.
Because of course you can take, look at a different era where, the man was portrayed more as the person that was providing, the woman was the caretaker. So in that sense, their different roles together as a married couple provided that type of value. But I would say that because our society has shifted in roles and responsibilities, I don't think it's that valuable. I think love will always be felt valuable. I think the choice to love, the actions that come with loving, I think that will always be valuable.
James, so you said no. Why?
Because
I wanted to hear that.
I mean, I feel like back in the day, love was just way more genuine, right? I mean, I kind of what Onesimus said, but I feel like a lot of these people do love, like, you could, like, love your friend. You could love your mom, blah, blah. But nowadays, it seems like even if, no matter who you love, it just doesn't mean anything to them, right? But I feel like back in the day, love was just more of, like, an important, like, thing. Like,
Right.
love was just so genuine nowadays. It's just, like, you can be in love, but it's just, like, what are you in love with? You know?
That's
Ooh.
dope.
Man.
You
What
love
are you
his
in love
money.
with?
You want love it.
Right, love
Oh.
with you love
Right.
the trips,
Okay,
or
Jameson.
you know what I'm saying? No, that's dope. I like that a lot, man.
You waiting for me?
Yeah.
All right. So the questions were, did marriage lose its value?
Yeah. Do you think marriage is a value? And in a sense, love lost its
So, like Brooke was saying, society, yeah, we lost our value in marriage. But you know, as we know in the black community, we gotta build on that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta build on that. We actually have value in marriage. We need each other. You know what I'm saying? But then, once we separated, then we fell apart. You know what I'm saying?
When they separated us.
They separated us. Right. There we go. And you see how once we stopped being one, we just kind of fell apart as a community, right? So then I kind of looked back and observed and saw that really the true importance of having marriages, because once you have marriages, successful marriages, you see the community come together more. But once everybody's kind of just doing their own thing, you see the community just fall apart. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, dang, that's the true value. Bringing people together is what marriage is for. And then as far as love, I think I agree with Elijah. It coming to definition of love. And so I looked at love, right? I think about what do I love? And I was like, man, I really, really love basketball. Man, I used to watch basketball games every day. I used to practice every day. I used to love every game. I used to love, like, just hearing the ball hit the net. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. And I was invested.
You know what I'm saying?
I was into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I sat back and I started observing. I was like, can you hear me? Yeah, so I started observing. I'm like, man, what if we actually put that same drive, that same energy into partners? Man, we'll grow.
We would.
We will do a lot of great things, but people ain't really looking for that, you know what I'm saying, or trying to make that initiative to do stuff like that.
Because they feel like love lost
Right.
its value.
You know what I'm
Bring that
saying?
back, though, no.
Or depend on the age.
And that's back to what we said, you know what I'm saying? Just because it happened in that generation doesn't mean it have to happen in ours, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
And I feel like your definition of love changes as you experience more things.
Yeah.
Because you kind of start off oblivious to things, or like you kind of start off confused about things, and then we start to learn more about yourself and start to learn more about like what you value and what you want. Then I feel like your definition of love has kind of like a change, because like what you want to accept it as love, you're not going to accept it anymore because you now know more about yourself, so you know like what actual love means.
Yeah. And when it comes to marriages too, for our society, we can't really compare ourselves to the older generation too much, because they got married for a different reason, which was roles. They needed each other, man. Like you said, the man did this, went out, got a job, boom, boom, boom. The woman stayed home, cook and clean. But then, as we all know, after World War II, all the men went off, the battle and stuff like that. All the women took
Had to
jobs,
work.
and the women said, all right, well, you know what? I can do it myself. I don't need the man.
Yeah.
And then that's where, like, a lot of marriages started breaking off. You know what I'm saying? So I think, back to my point earlier, Generation Z, we got to redefine what marriage is for us.
Most definitely. Nah,
And
actually,
love.
I have a question
love.
actually now. In marriage, like, would you, like, any of y'all, like, would y'all, like, switch, like, the marriage roles type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, the gender roles, I meant. Like, could you be, the breadwinner type of thing and your husband stay at home type of thing? Or Jameson, like, could you stay at home and your girl out there getting her cheese, like what's up type of thing?
No, I don't want to do that.
Or,
I'm not gonna lie. I was
yeah.
okay with being a housewife. like in a sense of like okay, like I wanted to go to college, of course, you know.
Right.
But like in the sense of like me having to work too,
Right.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Like I feel like okay, so I had this teacher in high school, and she told us that she was only teaching because she really wanted to. Like she didn't have to teach to make money. Like her husband provided everything for her.
Wow.
I wouldn't live that life. Like if I don't want to work, then I feel like I just don't want to work. Like I don't, like I hate feeling. I don't like working.
Wouldn't you want to use that as like a side thing, you know? Like you went to school and like, you know, you want to have like, just like, I could say like,
Yeah, that's why I said like that's why I said I want to
yeah.
live her life. Like she teach just because she honestly
She
wants to.
wanted
And
to.
that's
Yeah, she
I'm
wants
literally
to.
going for
Not
the same
because
thing.
she
Like
wants
I
to.
want to teach because I want to, not
Right.
because
I
I'm
know.
not going to be able to eat if I don't teach. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So I feel like I wouldn't want to switch roles. I'm good.
Well, I personally feel like, you know, we both should be doing like, you know, what we want and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't always just got to be, oh, let me, since, you know, I'm the wife. He at work, I'm gonna be at home, you know, take care of the kids and stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to have my own freedom too. I want to be going what I went to school for, and I want him to go to school he went to school for, you know, because I want like someone that has like his own life, just like how I have my own life. As I get older, there's a lot of things I wanted to
It did
change.
something.
Died.
It did something.
But yeah, keep going. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like, oh,
Nah, definitely. Cause look, you guys are a team at the end of the day, and like you guys both gotta go up. Now there's gonna be times where someone had to stay home for just like a day, situation type like that. But like, I don't know how I feel a relationship is. Like I'm not gonna get in a relationship unless I feel like this is like my team member, you know.
Right.
Like
For sure.
we both got our own grind. But we both got our own grind, but at the end of the day, we can come together, bounce off some ideas. Like that's why I want like a partner. Like, hey, should I blah blah blah, or you should blah. Like
Yeah.
ideas to get money, be successful. That's what I need. I don't really care about all the drama and none of that.
Period. The drama is crazy.
Man.
I feel that.
Plus, I feel like that speaks to how you're able to grow together. Because I feel like if someone's doing the heavy lifting in this area and somebody else is doing the heavy lifting in another area, then how are you able to make a mutual decision on those areas, if that makes sense? So,
But I feel like that's also putting like I'm putting in this type of work, you're putting in that work, like 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just gonna be a bum. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference. I feel like it's just a difference. Like
It's gonna
Yeah.
come down to that balance again, though,
Yeah.
and setting the expectations for the relationship. Like Jameson was saying, you know, how can you build together? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And like, unfortunate truth is a lot of people go into relationships thinking 50-50, right? But you're only giving half.
100.
Gotta give 100% effort. You know what I'm saying? You put all you can into it, all you can into it, you're gonna get better results out of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? As far as the roles go, though, you know, it really come down to what you and your partner
Agree
have
with.
sat down
Yeah.
and agree with. You know, you're gonna have the older generation telling you the man should do this and the woman should do
Right,
that.
right,
But see, you
right.
gotta understand, people get mad, like, you know, saying like they a caveman thinking and stuff, but that's they grew up.
Right.
They grew up.
yeah.
With
The
that.
man should be doing this and women should be doing that. So
We
their
learn from the
lot,
past, okay?
their logic is that's still that's the society they lived in.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
the man literally had to go out there and do that. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
had to.
But
It's
in
a
this
difference.
society now, it ain't like that because, as we were saying earlier, the woman can be the breadwinner. But the thing is, right, if a woman does make more money than you, that's completely fine because if you are married, you
I'm making my
you join the money. Man, come off guard a little bit. But you can build together though. So it's not like this person's above me.
Yeah.
We are a team, so we can
We building off each other.
do it
Yes.
together.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that happens a lot of times, bro, where like the female don't really like know what the fight. Like I was reading.
What you about to say?
I was reading. Look, the boy has been reading, right? No, it was in Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Where like the female wasn't really into the finances as much, but and then there was married obviously for I don't know how many years, but then one day, bro just decided to up and leave and like have like half of like the money type of thing because he was like low key in the shits, you know what I'm saying? Because he was the money, he was the bread maker, he knew like the finances and whatnot, you know, the
Right.
mortgage and stuff like that, and like left with like pretty much like 3/4 of the money type of thing, and like she couldn't do nothing about it. She couldn't sue him because like it's like damn, like he knew like his way around it type of thing. And so I just feel like with these marriage roles now, like it should be 100 type of thing with that, like with a lot of stuff, low key. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but how about another scenario?
Just in case it didn't work out.
So, because, okay, it was this one time where, like, I read this little article, and
You read?
basically, I read sometimes. Okay. So, this article on Twitter, and basically, it was about, like, this guy, right? And
Who knew this guy? Who knew this guy?
he, like, wanted his wife to be, like, a stay-at-home mom. Like, he was like, I want my kids to grow up in daycare. Like, we're both working, so I want you to actually, like, raise our kids. Like, I'm gonna be there too, but I'm gonna do this, and I want you to stay at home, take care of our kids, you know, and do that. I feel like that's okay because, like, they have that agreement. You know what I'm saying?
If they have that agreement,
you can,
yeah.
yeah. So y'all,
I'm-
like, I feel like it really depends. Like, you really can, like,
Is that how they worded it?
That's
yeah,
weird.
no, seriously,
Okay.
like,
It is dude.
he wanted her, like, he was like,
Well,
like,
did
can you
she
just stay
want
at
that?
home? I don't know. He just asked her
That's all
to.
that- yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like, he wasn't
'cause-
like, stay at home, take care of
Okay.
our kids. It's always an option. so I feel
guess
like,
that was
Just
my
creating
thing.
that balance and just coming to a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
But we all know that women are
Stubborn.
natural
what you about to say?
nurturers.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
You just wanted to say something. Say something bad. Like,
No,
that was really crazy, huh? Like,
natural
What we doing?
nurturers.
Yep.
Y'all heard that, right?
that's what
Not
y'all
all
be
of them.
quiet.
You know what
we
I'm
doing
saying?
now.
I thought I predicted what he was going to say.
Yeah.
You got it.
No, natural
Yeah.
nurturers. Yep.
Not all of
You
them.
know, but we do know that kids do need a father to be
Yeah,
present.
For
Both.
sure.
Of
You know what
course.
I'm saying?
I need
So-
both parents.
We need both parents, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that balance can be, that communication gonna be there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I agree. I just want to put my little scenario out there
Gotcha.
because y'all swear I'm a bum. Be a stay-at-home mom is okay.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I'm straight on that.
No, it is. That's true.
Definitely. That's funny.
So should we wrap it up, or y'all wanna? We can go all night.
I mean, you got it.
We can
Hey.
wrap it up.
Ladies have any topics? I feel like we've been bringing up all the topics, so
I asked a few questions, okay, to be fair.
Hey, you did, you did, you did.
So is it all on
To
just
be
on
fair.
marriage?
I'm dead.
it could be about anything you want.
Oh, anything we want. I'm trying to think.
Dog.
Oh, snap.
Can it be about Roddy Rich?
On that note, let's close it out. Man.
Interesting twist.
Fans don't
Okay,
do
don't
this
come at him
shit.
like that.
A lot. Fuck swat.
Oh,
I just put the
hey.
lick in the box. How to put the stick in the box.
I don't really like that song. I like the other one. So.
Wow.
Well,
It's really time to
Okay.
end it, so.
That song is great,
Interesting.
but I like the other ones better.
Oh shit.
Y'all crazy, man.
That's crazy.
I
What
like
was
that he
this,
don't cuss
episode
that much. You know,
5?
it's like
Episode
Yep.
5.
Episode
So-
5.
You know
Happy
something
New
about-
Year, Happy New Year.
Yup.
Man,
Wait,
y'all.
wait.
We didn't even talk about.
So-
Thanks for having
Man.
us.
This
What's
is
that?
it's a brand new year, 2020.
Brand
Yes.
new year,
Yeah.
2020. Man. What
Man.
y'all on, man? 2020. 2020.
And I think you told me that this year gonna be like what, 2016?
Bro, they said 2020 is gonna be like 2016. You know what I'm saying? Now,
That shit,
2016
man.
was
2016 was a terrible year.
what?
Yeah,
They don't
it was
think
terrible.
2016 was a golden year, bro.
No,
was the
I was
best year.
live.
You
I
was
mean,
live
I
in 2016.
graduated
Yeah.
that year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm
That
saying?
And
That's-
2017.
Especially like with the music and stuff like that too. You know, I'm a
Bro.
music
I had the
head
most
with
seizures that
with
year.
the shits.
I hated that shit.
Uzi was going. That's what Uzi was.
Stupid, bro.
My
Throwing
granddad
them.
died in
Throwing the
2017.
hits.
Stupid.
Here
I
you
hated
go.
those years.
It
Are you
mattered.
kidding me?
Where he at though?
Coming back.
He coming back.
2020.
He coming.
all
Eternal
shuffle,
Take is coming back, man.
Please don't talk about that for
Eternal
some.
Take is
What's up?
coming back, bro. Y'all
Oh
crazy,
my
dog.
gosh.
Futsal Shuffle went crazy.
Man, that also means more Uzi and Cardi collabs.
Yes, sir.
Cardi.
What?
Where Cardi at?
Man,
Where is Cardi?
Where Cardi
I
at?
thought they weren't friends anymore.
Don't worry.
yeah, he just playing.
Right.
I think. I hope.
What do I know?
Stand on money now. I'm 6'6".
Man,
Yeah.
Below
I have a question.
What's
Oh.
up?
No, I'm kidding.
You don't have a question?
No,
No.
I do.
I was about to say.
Like, damn. You got it.
I know, so say this one more time.
No.
I didn't do that.
Oh shit.
Oh. It's okay.
All right. Okay.
What do you guys want to see happen for yourselves in 2020?
Is there
I
anything?
like that question already.
Travel.
Yeah.
Get out the
Okay.
city. Get out the state.
Yes.
Get out.
See something.
Absolutely.
I'm actually going to Iowa tomorrow.
You going to Iowa?
My man.
Iowa.
Damn.
Idaho?
Shut up, Iowa. Damn
What's
it.
there? You
We
don't
said
know.
travel, all right? I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm playing.
It's a
Travel.
step. It's a
It's a
step.
step.
Okay,
You know what
what?
I'm saying?
Okay, I want to travel also, of
Okay.
course, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
start working out more.
Okay.
Big gains.
For
All right.
yeah, for my physical, health and
Mental
my mental
health.
health. Good grades.
Mm.
Okay, because college
Shit,
is
same.
a bitch.
To say that
It's a
again.
bitch. Learn to love
Dear
myself
Lord.
more.
Mm-hmm. I'll second that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Learn to love myself more, and just being okay and knowing that, because I heard this quote, right? I'm about to murder it because like I think about it, but it said, like, you have to understand, like, that it's okay, like, what happens to you, but it's how you react to them that makes it better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Something like that.
Man.
Yeah. And that's a good quote.
That's a good topic.
Because you can
You ain't
dwell
gotta
on
react
things that
to
happen
shit.
to you. You can control that, but you
You
can
can.
control
You can
how you
control
react
how
to
you-
those
how you
situations
going up
and how you
now.
deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna live by that.
Shit.
I'm gonna live by that this year.
I love it. I love it.
Slide.
Where do you want to travel?
Well, I want to go to Atlanta for sure. I want to hit Miami.
Ooh, for
ATL.
real.
Hey, go to Juicy Crab if you go to
Honestly.
Atlanta.
So
Juicy
what?
my
crab.
God. The Juicy
That
Crab.
just
Juicy
sound wet.
crab.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Let's
like
all go,
it's
bro.
like section bag.
Hold on now.
It's like sex in a bag. And
ATL.
I'm telling you.
ATL.
Spring break?
Spring,
ATL.
April
Thanks.
April 3rd?
April 3rd.
I would
Yo.
go, but I'm
Is that
gonna
spring
think
break?
spring
Is that your
break.
birthday?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, oh.
Jameson didn't know that, by the way. Just
I said
No, he yo.
I said April 3rd.
Yeah.
oh, my fault. I thought he didn't know your birthday.
Oh, he did. That's what he brought it up.
I
That's
said-
why he said it. That's why he said
I
it.
know. I was there.
All right, we was here. They ain't tweaking.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
But I'd like to travel out the country if I can this year. You know, I'm not gonna say if. I'm a
Make it happen.
winner.
Oh,
Mm.
manifestations.
Manifestation.
Win, but you know, I just want to see something different. You know.
Mm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
I like it.
Hey, y'all over here.
It's my turn.
Yeah, what are y'all
You
doing?
already went? I ain't going.
Oh,
Did you go?
I didn't.
Come on, bro.
We
No,
just
I
do.
didn't go.
Do
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause
bro.
I asked the
ain't gonna
question.
either,
Right.
but, you know.
Okay. Man, I feel like it's such like a big question. That's low key my fault. I feel like I just want to be a more purposeful person.
Mm.
So I just feel like everything that I do has intention, is on purpose. I'm giving it all that I have. And that goes like all across the board, like in all aspects of my life. I want to travel more.
Okay.
Mhm.
Where would you want to travel?
I want to go out the country.
There you go.
I feel like
Cute.
I'm done with America.
To be honest,
It's time to get out.
cause we
It's time
talking
to get
about
out.
being drafted.
He told
Right.
us, get out.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I
Get
ain't
out.
going
So
to
I'm
get
planning
it.
my escape. And
Take me with you.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Italy.
That'd be dope.
I want to go to Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go to Japan. What?
No, this girl said I was gonna say bonjour, but that's French, right? My bad. I had to expose her. I had to.
Nobody said to say it out loud.
I had to. My bad. Cause she said what? I got scared. I didn't want to come at me. I didn't want her coming at me, so I had to let you off.
You said bonjour.
I like corrected myself. I said, but that's
It's okay.
French, right?
What
It's
time
okay.
is it?
To be honest.
What time is it?
It's 3:23,
You
y'all.
didn't have to bust me out.
She came at me like crazy.
It's
No,
cool.
I'm scared, y'all. Hey, bro.
no, I was just wondering. I was laughing.
I'm sorry.
I was just wondering what was funny.
Oh
Sell
no.
out.
Oh brother.
Um,
That was deep.
but yeah, travel more. Italy, Japan. Honestly, anywhere. I just want to study abroad. I just want to
Oh,
explore
yeah.
like
Cool.
that option, because I feel like a lot of times we focus on like it not being affordable, and it not seeming reasonable, and I just want to just make it happen.
Go for it.
Mhm.
I respect it.
Mhm.
Most definitely.
Mhm.
Oh,
Did you go? You said you
Damn.
didn't go.
Man.
oh, okay.
I thought you
Hurry up, be
went.
messing
I'm
me
so
up.
sorry.
Man, goals for 2020, man. That's crazy. I'd say one goal for me is just like, realizing like who I am type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, alright, I'm gonna try to shorten this story, but like, there's a story in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Where Jesus is, about to get crucified and he knows it, and so he teaches like his disciples, that like like to wash other people's feet type of thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like do what you type of thing. And so he was doing that. He was going around to his disciples and whatnot. And then he got to I believe it was Peter. Now Peter was like one of like because the disciples aren't really like perfect, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'd say like he's one of the grimiest type of thing, you know what I'm
Like he
saying?
was.
Like yeah, you know what I'm saying? One of the grimiest type of thing. So like when Jesus got to him, he was like, nah, Jesus, like you ain't gotta wash my feet type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gotta do that. He's like, no, like who am I type of thing? You're Jesus, like stop. He's like, yeah, I am Jesus. That's why I'm doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I am who I am. Like I need to do this so I can show you what to do later on type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Jesus didn't say, oh, you right, like type of thing. Like, like, you know what, like, you know what, you right, bro. Like, no, like I am Jesus, you know what I'm saying? But like I need to realize like who I am now, like, like
You
I
are
am
Onesimus.
Onesimus, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I am a creator, like I am talented, like I have to do this stuff and like just show my talents, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's one thing. I guess that's just like the main thing for 2020. And just like being able to like create more. I told Jameson this for real. He actually said, hey bro, like send me a memo of like what you want for your goals for 2020. And I was like, all right, bet, nigga. Even
He's no.
say less. And I was saying that like I want to be more, just create more content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just create more, whether that be music or video, like just create more type of thing. So those are my goals for 2020.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we're
respect it.
creatures.
Yes,
Create.
create. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Connecting.
poets.
Connecting.
You know what I'm saying?
Cause
Most def-
Okay, my goal for 2020 is to, I want to try to be, seizure free,
Okay.
Last year wasn't that bad, I had a few seizures, but like I want to try to go a full year without seizures. I also want to work on being more patient, like, in any situation. I want to plan to do better in school, and also I want to travel more too. Like I'm already planning to go to Dallas with my sister for a few months, so
That's what's up.
yeah, and help her out in our business and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty
Your
much.
What's your
business.
business?
Go ahead and tell
It's
them.
a cleaning business.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I love
nice.
it.
That's
I
nice.
love to
Awesome
hear
for
it.
real.
That really is.
yeah.
Man.
We already did some work here in Michigan, but
Get that extra money.
For
yeah, especially in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yes. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
So, man.
I like that. I think since 2020 starting a new decade, my main goal, my top goal is become a person of value. I'm trying to figure out for the longest what does it mean to be successful and what does success mean. But I'm like, man, all the successful people that I know who like are that idol of success are people of value. There's only one Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? There's only one Beyonce. If you can't get Beyonce, you look, because there ain't no other Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? I want to be somebody who's like, there's only one Javon L. Fields. I want him. You know what I'm saying? We so proud of him. And like, I want, you know, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to accomplish that.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
awesome, bro.
That's what's up.
Good
man.
luck, guys.
Man, we got
No.
this.
And all our
No.
girls, for real.
Right,
Yeah.
it's easy to talk
That's
about, but let's
definitely-
be about it.
Do it.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Do that shit.
2020.
Do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing.
Man.
Oh, what's that? So we so proud of him.
That's dead.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm dead. I'm
Oh,
tired.
what?
That's dead.
I meant I'm
Calm
dead.
down.
He tired.
Look,
man.
man. Y'all gotta chill up. man.
Oh,
Right, exactly. Don't try to come for me.
man.
Thank you,
tried
bro.
it. There you go.
Bro.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
gosh.
She said,
Dead.
I was gonna
That's
say
the way
bonjour,
y'all
but-
is gonna close out the podcast from now on. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
That's
What they say
All
in
right,
Hawaii?
bonjour.
Hasta luego.
Oh,
I said what they say in Hawaii. She said hasta luego.
She meant that shit.
No, I wasn't. I was talking just in general. So I was trying to.
You are.
No.
I did not say that to you.
That's what you did.
I was saying.
You all looked at me. He said hasta luego.
Confidence. Yo.
Oh my god.
Bro, at
Yo.
that point,
I didn't say it to you. Dang.
oh my
going on?
That's so
god.
fake.
All right, man.
what is going on?
That's
She might as
crazy.
well.
Man.
Goodbye.
Are you guys gonna have like a goodbye, a farewell song?
Or like an ending.
Yeah.
Like you guys need like a signature ending.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Do we?
Yes, you do.
Can I
Absolutely.
sing?
What's it? Don't we?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Don't we?
you guys should give
Have
like
an outro?
advice out.
Don't we have an outro?
It's an instrumental though.
No, like
Nah,
don't
the-
forget.
I mean,
to wipe.
We're not
from
we're not
front
talking
to
about the
back.
song. We're talking about like have an outro.
Oh,
That's
Do
the
we got
okay,
thing.
okay.
Yes.
Creators, okay. Think. Let's brainstorm.
Are we included in this or?
Y'all here? Ain't y'all?
Hey,
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we still
Alright.
recording?
Yeah, we're just gonna like.
we're just gonna play it.
We gonna
Like,
sing?
no editing.
Can we sing or like?
All right.
DJ,
Yeah, can we sing?
There's no beat.
Damn.
Yeah,
He
bro.
deserved that. He was
Wow.
lying on me tonight. I'm done.
What lie? What lies have I been?
Yo.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so let's think.
Okay.
Like y'all need a phrase.
What were you saying earlier, bro? That song you were singing?
Which one?
We just trying to eat or something? Was that what it?
Oh.
Mars?
No. We
Oh,
just,
the eat
we
good.
just tried to-
Eat
yeah.
good.
Wait, how'd it go again?
Dang. It was dope.
We just trying to eat good.
Damn.
We just trying to eat good.
Oh.
Hey.
Hell.
We trying to eat.
All right, bet.
We just.
Oh, he got the beat.
We just trying to eat good.
I'll do the beat.
Yeah.
Slap.
Uh.
Gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gang.
Yeah. I said, it's last season. You already know. I don't mess with that hoe. Whoa.
Oh.
I don't mean to call her that, but you know.
Wow.
Y'all can say whole air.
We're gonna beep it out.
For real.
Y'all. Chill.
That's
That's
actually. Have
funny
you
as
ever thought
hell.
of that?
What?
We
Even
just
out y'all's
birthed
cuss
that
words?
birthday.
No. Fuck that.
All right. Well, that's that, guys. Subscribe.
Hold on, let me pull up this beat.
Yo, what?
That'd
Yo,
be
my
funny.
ain't go smooth. Y'all wanna do it?
That's what they all say.
It's the outro, y'all. We see y'all next time. Yes, sir. No, on 369. What the hell are you talking about? How'd it go again, bro? I forgot. The melody. We just trying to eat good. We just trying to eat good.
Just wanna eat good.
I just trying to eat.
Just wanna eat
Just trying to eat good.
Just wanna eat good.
Just trying to eat.
Just wanna eat good.
Just trying to eat good.
Just wanna eat good.
I'm just trying to eat
Just wanna
good.
eat good.
Just trying to eat good.
Wanna eat good.
I'm just trying to eat good. I'm just trying to eat good. I'm just trying to eat good. I'm just trying to eat good.
Come on, Jameson.
Just trying to eat good.
I just wanna eat good. Ramen
Yeah.
up the top, Sunny Ski, what it was.
eat.
I don't really know Sunny Skin with the campaign.
Here we go.
Popping
We
off like
just trying to
champagne.
eat.
Hey.
And they gon'
hey.
snap. Ramen up
Guess
the
what?
top. Then they
Y'all
gon'
are
kick it back.
tryna eat.
Okay. Then she said off key. Damn, I said
We
don't
just
overtalk
tryna
me.
eat.
Cause I'm rapping,
Fucking haters.
Ski, I'm backing. Every time I'm in it, I'm gonna blow the back end. Sunny ski, I'm never slacking. I'm never lazy. I'm rhyming like Jay-Z. It's crazy. Riding past JC on 28th Street. The BP. I'm gassed up, but you still can't see me. So hot, yeah, going but my CD.
We just tryna eat. Oh, whoa. Said we just tryna eat. Tryna eat. I said we just tryna
Good, just
eat.
wanna eat good. Just wanna eat good. Just wanna eat good. Just wanna eat good. Just wanna eat good.
Yeah.
Javon.
Yeah.
We just
What?
But now you're fucked up. I can't rap. Go ahead and clap.
Yeah. We
Oh,
just
no.
tryna eat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for watching 369 Society.
God
The camera's
bless.
dead. Why are we looking at it?
Make sure to subscribe,
That's
like,
actually crazy.
comment, and
Comment.
share.
Subscribe.
Gra-pa-pa-pow.
Come on now.
Subscribe.
Blow his ass down.
After hours too.
I was trying to
Good.
eat good. I was trying to eat.
Flat.
I was trying to eat good. Yeah. I was trying to
Yeah,
eat.
you are what you eat, but I ain't eat good. Hit repeat and peep high ski wood. Eat shit it out, then sleep good. Eat shit it out, then sleep good. Yeah, breathe down, can't kick my feet up. It's down on the pedal, look around because I'm rolling around town trying to spend a few bucks. Broke the bread up, spin it on a few subs. Popeyes, McDoubles, all that. I just got paid, so double all that.